Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Daniel and I work as a senior data analyst here in the UK, and I'm also a career coach. Now, from my last video 2 days ago, I got this comment, and the comment says, also Daniel, I got my first data job after the phone call I had with you. Your advice were instrumental. Now, I was super excited when I got this message, and in the month of November 2024, this happens to be the 8th message I've gotten about people getting job offers after our conversation, after jumping on training with Tech Drive. And it's super exciting saying that most people are able to get these jobs because of the right information. I tell people that really the easiest way to get into the kind of job you want is having conversation with people that are already on the job. Give you better context to help you avoid some of the mistakes that they've made. And it's super exciting seeing people getting these job offers, getting sponsored roles, some getting roles that are not sponsored, but there's a promise of sponsorship upon completion of their probation period. So it's very exciting. And that's why in this video, I try to make, start a conversation about things you need to avoid or some of the mistakes you're making that makes it quite difficult or impossible to land in your first professional job here in the United Kingdom. So if an immigrant seeking employment with visa sponsorship, or someone in the same position or the same situation, please make sure you share this video with them. And if you're coming across this channel for the first time, do to hit on the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. My experience working as a career coach, helping people land the professional job they've always wanted. I've been faced with different situations. Some of the mistakes people are making or have been making that has made it almost impossible for them to land a professional job. Now, for those of you following me on Instagram, on TikTok, also you're on YouTube, I've shared quite a number of testimonies of how people have been able to, people who have no, a professional job, and how they're able to transit and becoming, professionals here in the United Kingdom. There are loads of testimonies. I don't know if you guys remember this particular message I got on LinkedIn also about someone that contacted me earlier this year and was saying a fantastic thing about our conversation and how he was able to eventually put into practice some of the things we talked about, and he has led himself a professional job as a data analyst. Now, this is one of many other testimonies that has come, through my one-to-one session, those who jumped on my CV revamp service, and people that jumped on Tech Drive training. And it's super exciting seeing all of this happen. And if you want to be a beneficiary of this also, you might probably want to watch this video till the end. Now, one of the mistakes I've seen people make, and this really applies to those who came into the UK as students and are trying to get a professional job, move from post-study work visa. Now, one of the major mistakes I've seen people make is that they avoid entry level or contract roles. Now, everybody wants to get sponsorship role, obviously, and I think this is a strategy we used with one of my past students who currently work as a data analyst with Greg's at the moment. And what we did was, while he was a student, of course, he did his master's in business administration, MBA, and he had interest in data. He was a number guy, he loved numbers, and we're like, okay, you're students, you'll be running a program in a few weeks. The best thing we need to do now is, I know you want a sponsorship job, but you've got the 2 years post-study work visa to leverage on. Why not apply for contract roles? Why not apply for entry-level roles to help you build that UK experience, to help you build that experience in the world of data, so that you can then leverage on other organizations that have the visa sponsorship opportunities. Now, what we did, so we applied to to Greg's. It was an entry level role. I think the salary was about 28,000 or 27,500 thereabouts, and we applied for the job. Of course, after like 2 rejections, we were able to eventually land in a quality data analyst role, which he has been able to build up the experience. And just 3 days ago, he contacted me again and said, Daniel, I'm happy to tell you that my post-study work visa is going to expire, I think, May 2025. And in November 2024, he already got a professional job. And he was able to leverage on the experience with Craig's to land this visa sponsorship job that he just got this month of November 2024. So most people just, are so fixated about sponsorship role. And that was my own situation. I never wanted to apply for post-study. I never did. I wanted to get straight into skilled worker visa towards the end of my program, which I was able to do, but not everyone will be able to get that visa sponsorship role directly or almost immediately, or their first job offer will be sponsorship role. So I probably want to leverage on graduate roles and leverage on entry level roles to build that experience, and then you can then now start, you know, looking for visa sponsorship role, leveraging on the experience you've built on the road that they provide visa sponsorship. Now, another mistake I've seen people make is applying for jobs with a weak resume. Now, listen, one of the things people don't really understand is that your CV is your first point of contact with your potential employer or recruiter, and the perception of you, by the recruiter or the potential employer will be created based on the information on your CV. So what I tell people is, and I've seen so many people make this mistake that you might probably be making the same mistake. You don't use the same CV for every job application. If your CV is not properly tailored to the job you're applying for, the chances of you getting called for an interview is less than 1%. So it means for every job you're applying for, you need to constantly tailor that particular CV to the job you're applying for. Pretty basic and very important. It sounds really basic, but extremely important. Now, so let's say, for example, you're applying for, a project management role or a project manager role with the company A and company B. You need to make sure that while submitting the CV, you don't use, and this is what I did also, which was part of the mistakes I made in my early days of trying to get a job. You don't have a generic, yeah, you can have a generic CV for project management roles. However, you can't use that same generic CV for every project management job you see online. So you need to make sure you constantly tailor the CV to the job you're applying for, because if you don't, you probably would not be called for an interview. So if the job you're applying for, they want you to have experience with the use of Jira, have a good experience with how to create automated reports using VB and macros. And on your CV, there's no information about how you'll be able to use VB and macros to create an automated report on your current or previous role, or there's nothing, or there's no mention of Jira on your CV, the chances of you getting called for an interview is also less than 1%. So you need to make sure you constantly tailor your CV to the job you're looking for. Now, another major mistake I see people make is applying without required skills. See, for any job you're applying for, having read the job description, you need to make sure that you're projecting yourself as someone who has the skills, and you must have the skills. So I've seen people apply for data analyst role and they have zero knowledge of how to interrogate data using SQL. They have zero knowledge of creating ETL pipeline using SSIS. There's no way you're going to get a job. So if you're looking at transition to data analytics and you've gone through so many videos online, you're clueless on how to go about it, then you want to check out Tech Drive. Now, Tech Drive is currently organizing a 6 weeks intensive training on data analytics, and you'll be taught on how to create automated reports on Microsoft Excel, how to do your ETL pipelines on SSIS, how to interrogate, manipulate data on SQL, and ultimately how to create business intelligence reports on Power BI. So these are some of the things you get to benefit by getting trained with Tech Drive. Now, aside from the technical bits of the training, you also get to have your CV work done. So your CV will be revamped in order to have the appropriate keywords to land your first data analyst job. And also your portfolio will be created during the course of the training. And most importantly, you will be getting the UK work experience with Tech Drive. So what are you waiting for? Send an email to techdrive06@gmail.com or visit our website at www.techdriveuk.com to get as much details as you want. And you can also send us an email to ask all of the questions and get clarification to every single question that you might have. So now, another thing I've seen people make, another mistake I've seen people make, is not adequately preparing for interviews. And this is one of the things you also get to benefit from Tech Drive, with prepping for interviews when you get an interview invite. Now, I said in one of my previous video about how people go for interviews, and trust me, it takes a whole lot to apply for a job. And the fact that you get called for an interview, it means that you're part of the less than 5% of people who apply for that job that got called. It means that you're practically one step into landing the job. And it's really sad how people go for interviews and they're not 100% prepared for that particular interview. And the good thing about going for an interview here is, especially if you're going for a role that is a bit technical, they're going to tell you what they're going to test you on for the technical assessments. So if you're going for a data analyst role, you probably will be told that, oh, we're going to test you on SQL and Power BI for this particular interview. All you need to do is just to make sure you prepare. Make sure you have all the foundation knowledge, all the professional knowledge around those tools, and then land yourself a data analyst job, if that makes sense. But it's quite competitive, and you need to bring in your A game. And there are lots of conversation about how you can actually bring in your A game for interviews. So if you want to get like clarification on that, you might probably want to jump in my one-to-one session where we can have a detailed chat about how we can, how you can tailor your answers to match what the organization is looking for based on the information on the job description. So if you want to jump in my one-to-one session, click the link in the description of this video. We can have a long chat to talk about where you are and where you should be and what you need to do in between the two points. Get all of the answers you need, bring up all of the questions you have about job search, and trust me, it's going to be the most insightful session that you've ever had on this whole job search. John, so if you have any question that you think is not personal, please state those questions in the comment section. And if you're coming across my channel for the very first time, do it to hit on the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So this will be the end of this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.